Hello dear learners and welcome to MOOCs on Introduction to Sociology 2. And today's topic is social institution. Now to begin with, social institutions are mechanism or patterns of social order focused on meeting social needs such as government, economy, education, family, healthcare and religion. In a social institution, a group of individuals functions together for a common purpose, goal and norms. Well, in a society, we all live together. We are human beings. We have some basic needs. We are motivated to acquire these basic needs. So, now where do we go to attain or to have, to get these needs fulfilled? We need some institution. Right? We have to go to some place where we can get our needs fulfilled. So, social institutions are the organized patterns of behavior by which society meets its basic needs. Society is a place where different people live and they have their own needs and requirements to live together. To satisfy these needs, people have to behave in a desirable way which is governed by some rules and regulation. So, as I said that people, in order to accomplish their need, they have to behave in a certain desirable fashion. They have to abide by all the rules and regulation which are there in our society. And these social institutions are a particular kind of organized institutions where these rules and regulations are formed, they are created so that people can behave accordingly and accomplish their needs and desire. For example, for fulfilling the desire to attain knowledge, where do we go? We have to go to an education institution. For attaining spiritual purposes, where do we go? We go to some religious place. In the similar manner, we get our emotional security when we go to our family. All societies from ancient to modern era, they have been trying their level best to fulfill their basic needs to survive and thrive in a better manner. Now, the societies are organized in such a fashion that each and every human being who are a part of this society follow the same kind of rituals, norms and customs. So, the society here becomes more organized and the norms and regulations which are enforced are followed, particularly followed by the people in a more rigid manner. Now, people are bound to follow these social orders. Thus, the social institutions were developed where people were expected to function in a particular way with proper legal function. Now, in a society where we don't have any rules and regulation, where there is no definite pattern of norms, then people really don't know how to function or their behavior is somewhat unruly. They will behave in a manner, in a fashion that might harm the sentiments or that might cause some kind of problem to the other people of the society. To check these behavior, the social institutions are formed. Social institution, therefore, it gives a kind of a legal sanction to whatever we do. It gives a legitimacy to whatever we are doing. Therefore, social institutions are extremely important for us. So, social institutions are universal with a slight variation. Now, what does that mean? We all know that to live in a peaceful manner or to get security, we need a family. So, the process of having a family is very similar all over. Globally, the families are of same nature. Now, similarly, say marriages. Marriages are also very common practice in each and every society. But the pattern of marriage, the kind of marriages that take place, the rituals that are followed to conduct a marriage might be different for different people. It might be different in different geographical areas. Therefore, we say that social institutions are universal. That is, we find similar kind of social institutions everywhere, but there may be some slight variations. There might be some changes or some kind of other rituals may be followed to practice or to follow the same institutions. Therefore, we are saying that social institutions are universal with slight variation. Now, let us talk about some of the major social institutions. The first social institution that we can take up is the family. We all love to be in a family, isn't it? We all have our families, and family is a place, it's a cozy nest where we find we find ourselves to be in a very secured position. Think of this lockdown. We had a great family time. We were all together. We started knowing the qualities of the family members, which perhaps we did not know. We spoke to each other, we played games, we cooked for each other. So that was the kind of feeling, a feeling that we had in a family. So family performs several functions. It gives us security, it helps us to build up our character, it helps us to build up our personality. This is because family is the primary unit for socialization. A child who is born in this world for the first time, the child goes to the family from, that is the way, or that is the first interaction that a child has is with his or her parents. And the child gets a family. All the needs, all the basic requirements are fulfilled in the family. The nutrition, the immunization, the shelter, everything the child gets in a family. This is a family which nurtures a child. So, ideally, family is the major source of practical and emotional support for its member. When we are in a difficult situation, it's our family members who give us support, who tells us that we can do it. So, and we can come out of any problem if we get the full support of our family. So, family is the pillar of strength for us. Family helps to regulate our sexual activity and sexual reproduction. Family gives sanction for having children. It is only within a family, within the family, when a child is born, the child gets the proper sanction. The legitimacy of the child is only possible if the child is born in a family and within a marriage. Out of wedlock, if a child is born, then that is a difficult situation, particularly in a society like ours. Now, family provides us a social identity. We get our surname because we are in a family. So, family provides us with our social identity. Family, we know, it can be nuclear or it can be a joint family system. Now, in a nuclear family system, it is only the parents and the child who is living, but the joint family system is it is a unique system which is predominantly found in Indian communities, where it is not only the parent and the child, there are the grandparents or the brother of the father, or in an extended family. So, joint family system is a place where the child grows up with lots of love, the moral values that they get from their grandparents. So, that is what makes the joint family more special, and it is a kind of a system. The joint family system is basically, it is more predominant in the rural and communities, while nuclear families are more predominant in the urban communities. So, whatever the family, be a nuclear family, be it a joint family, but it is certainly a very important way that gives us strength to live. It gives us the social identity. Families can be patriarchal in nature, it can be also matriarchal in nature. Patriarchal, where the male member of the family is the head of the family, while in the matriarchal family, the women are, they take in charge of the entire family activities. Now, let us come to marriage. Marriage is an institution that permits man and women to have a family. Well, it is through marriage that men and women, man or women, they come together and they get married and they are into a marital relationship. Well, in Indian communities, as we know, it is said that it is not, marriages does not only take place between two individuals, but marriages actually takes place between the two families. Now, marriage is it is a very essential element to establish a family, which further helps to bring up the children, as we have already seen while discussing family, that it is only through marriage two people can have children. So, therefore, we can say that marriage and family are so interlinked. It is an essential relation between men and women to continue the human race through procreation. It regulates the sexual desire of men and women according to prescribed customs and law. So, therefore, it is through marriage that the promiscuity, the sexual promiscuity in our society can be restricted. Thus, marriage is a legally recognized social contract between two people, traditionally based on sexual relationship and implying a permanence of the union. So, marriage is a kind of a bond which unites two people. It is like a contract in some cases, where two people come together and they get the legal sanction to stay together. Now, marriages are of many kinds, like polygyny, where one man marries more than one woman. In the similar fashion, we have polyandry. This is another kind of marriage where a woman marry many men, which one of the example is, we can find it in Mahabharata, where Draupadi had 5 husbands. So, that was a case of polyandry. And of course, monogamy, which is more prevalent in our society, where one man marries one woman at a time. Now, previously in ancient period, or before say 20 years back, it was we hardly found intercaste marriages, but now intercaste marriages are also very common. Rather, marriages between same sex, the gay marriages and lesbian marriages are also happening these days. But however, these marriages are not, they do not really have social sanction. However, these marriages are taking place. So, therefore, marriage is a bonding between two individuals and they are together because of some legal sanction. Now, religion. Religion is also a very important social institution. Religion is a way of life. It is a system of beliefs, values, practice concerning what a person holds to be sacred or spiritually significant. So, religion tells us about the moral values. It tells us about what we are supposed to do, and it tells us what we are not supposed to do. Religion can be categorized according to what or whom its followers worship. We know that there are many religions. We have Hinduism, we have Islam, we have Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. We have many religions. Of course, the main motive is to reach to one God. So, therefore, religion can be, it can be practiced in different ways. As I have already mentioned before, that social institutions are universal, however, with slight variation. In the same way, religion can be categorized according to the person or according to the followers who are practicing it. It serves as an agent of social control of behavior. So, religion tells us, or it controls our behavior, what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. So, for example, some religion prohibits killing of animal. So, it controls our behavior in that way. So, it tells us that we should follow the path of non-violence. We should not hurt the people's sentiment. It tells us that we must not damage the environment. So, these are all basic teachings of the various religions. So, therefore, it regulates our behavior. So, therefore, we can say that religion is certainly a very important instrument for social control of our behavior. It motivates people to work for positive social change, definitely. No religion tells to adopt the path of adopt the path of violence. Definitely, all the religion teaches us to bring about positive change in our society, to do good for the people, to help people to help themselves. So, these are the various teachings of the religion which actually is very important to bring about positive social change in our society. It promotes physical and psychological well-being, like mantras that we enchant, or the words of Bible, the words of Quran, the words of Gita. These words, it kind of composes us. It kind of makes ourself calm. We feel a sense of peace and tranquility. Therefore, religion is very strong institution, very strong social institution that promotes or that enhances physical and psychological well-being. Next, we come to education. Well, once a child grows up, the child is taken to an educational institution from the family for the first time. Maybe the child is taken to an elementary education, to attend the elementary education. So, that is the first educational institution the child goes, or maybe that is the second world of a child. And gradually, the child attains education, he or she graduates to go to colleges and universities, and then choose their own career. You must have heard of this term affiliation. Therefore, you will not go to an institution which does not, or educational institution which does not have a proper affiliation. So, education provides opportunity for acquiring knowledge and skills that will enable people to develop full potentials and become successful members of the society. So, to attain these, to acquire the right kind of knowledge, to acquire the right kind of degree, we always go to institutions which are recognized, which are affiliated by some agency. Therefore, if and only if our degrees that we obtain from the various education institutions are legitimate, only then we can think of making a good career. So, education develops our personal skills which helps us to become competent enough to secure our future. So, education is a very strong instrument, is a very important tool that empowers us to make our own decision, to seek for a better life by seeking good jobs for ourselves, and this is only possible if we have right education. Education builds our capabilities, it shapes our personalities. Education helps us to become confident and become wiser in taking our decisions. So, it also helps us to think creatively as well as analyze things critically. Hence, education as a social institution is a very important institution, and it is a right, and education is a basic right of any individual. Next institution is the healthcare system. As I said, education is a right of every individual. Healthcare or health is also the basic human rights. If it is denied, if any of us are deprived of health rights, that means we are actually deprived of our human rights. So, health refers to the extent of person's physical, mental and social well-being. When does health issues arises? Well, the existence of social inequality in any society, it drastically affects our health. So, people living in poverty and in unhygienic conditions usually suffers from health issues. Therefore, this was about our social institution. While summing up, we can say that family is the best place where a person or a child becomes socialized, and it is the place where a child is nurtured. It is because of the marriages that families comes. Religion, on the other hand, it fulfills our spiritual needs, it provides comfort to us. Education, it transfers basic academic knowledge to us, and we feel accomplished after getting it well educated, and we can get ourselves placed in a good position in the society. And health, as we have mentioned earlier, that it is a basic human right, and if we are deprived of our health rights or our educational rights, that means that our human rights it is not ensured. Thus, social institution, it exists to help an individual to live a good life, a life with dignity, and social institutions can be therefore called as the building block of any society.